Hey there, it's Jackson, and I want to talk today about what are you really afraid of? I was talking to a client of mine named Amanda. Amanda made an amazing transformation. She lost 27 pounds, 13% body fat, but get this, she lost 35 total inches. Completely different person. I mean, completely different clothes, everything. It's really incredible. But as I was talking to her on one of our check-ins just the other day, she was kind of like joking, and we were talking about when we first started working together, and almost laughing now at how out of shape and deconditioned she was at the time in comparison to what she's doing now. And she said to me, she goes, "Man, you know what's funny is that I almost didn't work with you." And I said, "Really? Why? Well, why?" And she goes, "Well, honestly, I was kind of afraid. I was really scared." I said, "Was it the money, the financial investment, or what?" And she said, yes, the financial investment was part of it. The financial investment was like something that was like a big hurdle to get over. Like, I'm not now investing a lot of money into this. She's like, but more than the financial investment, she was honestly, I was just like, I was really like fearful and hesitant and almost felt like stuck. Like I didn't want to make the decision because I didn't know if I could follow through and if I could do it. She's like, so more than the money, she's like, the money was like, yes, I had to invest the money. She goes, but I didn't know if I could invest the money and bet on me. She's like, I knew you knew what you were doing. I knew the strategy worked. I saw the client success stories and all the case studies. She's like, I wasn't worried about that. I was worried about me. I was the one that was scared. It was committing and now giving you all this money and spending all this money on this program to completely transform my life. She goes, now I got to follow through. Now I actually got to do the work. I got to do all this. I got to make sure that there's a return on this investment. She's like, and you were great, but I was afraid about me. And you know what's really interesting about that is I've heard that from many different clients. Client after client has said and reiterated the same kind of story. My client Michael lost 25 pounds, no pack to six pack in 10 weeks. Again, said the same thing in one of our client interviews. In fact, he said to me, he said, you know what, Jackson, I wanted a six pack for like 10 years. He goes, but I just struggled and spun my wheels and really got nowhere fast, like just jumping from one thing to the next and trying all this different stuff. He goes, but the reason none of that stuff worked for me and the reason that everything worked for you is because before, he goes, I was always kind of afraid to commit. I was always kind of afraid. He's like, there was always an excuse or a reason or I didn't trust or whatever. He goes, with you, he goes, I trusted you 100%. He goes, so that gave me the confidence to finally bet on myself because I trusted you so much that I just was going to put all my faith in you and I was just going to dive in. He goes, and before, what I do is I didn't always, trust 100% because I was getting these programs online, or I was like, just trying to figure it out myself, or I'd hire a trainer, but I didn't really trust the guy, and I'd only see him, maybe twice a week. He goes, with you though, I knew the support was there and the accountability. I knew you were always going to be right there to answer my questions, to help me. I knew the strategy was sound because I saw the case studies and the testimonials and all the success stories. He goes, so I knew you were going to be there for me. He goes, that gave me the confidence to finally bet on myself and finally commit all the way. He goes, but before, I wouldn't commit 100%. I'd kind of go in 99% and I wouldn't give it my all. And as a result, I would fail and I wouldn't get the end result. I wouldn't get the six pack. I wouldn't lose the weight. I wouldn't lean down. So I felt like I was always just spinning my wheels and I got nowhere after 10 years. I finally trusted you and that allowed me to bet on myself. And once I bet on myself and I finally committed and I decided I was just going to go for it no matter what, and I was going to do what you told me to do and I was just going to fully invest. He goes, not only did the results come really fast, but finally I felt like confident and strong about my decision. And I felt like finally, yes, I'm doing this. He goes, and it was very liberating. It was very liberating. Because you know what's funny about that is like when I think about all these stories that these people tell me, and I even think about my own life and some of the things that I struggle with, right? It's kind of funny because people would rather stay in fear and stay stuck back here than step up and step into the game and step into the arena. because they know back here they could always just tell themselves a story. They can make up justifications and excuses on why they don't have the end result, about why they don't have the body that they want, or why they can't lose the weight or fit into their jeans or the little black dress, or they could tell themselves why they're not making enough money if it's a business related thing. Because if you step up and you commit all the way and you go all in, and if it doesn't work out, now that door is completely shut. And for a lot of people, they have these stories in their head about their genetics or their age or their body type or whatever, that it's just not going to work for them. And they tried so many different things and it hasn't worked, that they now have these stories up there. And they'd rather stay back here and kind of never really fully invest and always have that glimmer of hope that, well, maybe it could work out, maybe it'll work out, maybe it'll work out, than to really invest, step in, commit all the way and go for it at the chance that they fail and it doesn't work out. Isn't that funny how psychology works like that? You'd rather stay stuck in fear, not moving forward, not making any progress, because there's a chance it might work out down in the end and there's like this glimmer of possibility, than to commit all the way, go all in, go for the result at the chance of failure. But what's funny about that is like the only way you're going to be successful is by taking that risk and jumping in and going through the massive action. Because here's the thing. Here is the thing. You're going to find out what works and what doesn't along the way, because not everybody just follows the exact same path. Sometimes we have to change things around. Some people need a little bit more customizations than others. Some people need a tweak here and a tweak there. But the only way you find that out is through massive action and moving forward and going for it, because that way you find out really quickly what doesn't work and you can adjust on the way. When I was living in San Francisco, they had this phrase for startups called pivot. And the idea was fail fast, pivot. Fail fast, pivot. Fail fast, pivot. So you try something, and if it doesn't work, then you fail fast, hopefully, get it out of the way right away, and then you pivot, and then you find out what works, and you kind of attack that, and then you just keep going until you navigate your way to a successful business. It's the same thing with your body. You have to make that massive action, go forward and find out what's working and work with an expert who can give you that feedback, so then you can make the changes that need to be made so you can keep moving forward and progressing. What most people do is they try something on their own, or they get an online program and they try it and maybe they get some results immediately, but then the results kind of fail or they fall out because it's too restrictive or it's not customized. And what happens is that there's no feedback loop. So they don't know what's working, what's not working. They can't make the adjustments they need, and they stop making progress. They get frustrated and they stop. And they don't have the result that they want. No wonder, right? No wonder. But when I look back at my life and I look at all the greatest things I've accomplished, and not to pat myself on the back here too much, but I've done a couple of really cool things, right? Posing in Men's Health and working with Nike and ESPN and being in all the fitness magazines and getting on all the fitness boxes. That was cool. That was something that was cool. But you know what? That never would have happened hadn't I taken the risk of quitting my job, of driving out to New York from Chicago on a total limb, like total roll of the dice. And I show up in New York City, and next thing you know, bam, I was able to book a go-see with Men's Health, and next thing I know, I'm shooting for them. But that never would have happened if I didn't take the risk, if I didn't face my fears, see what was going on, take a massive leap, take action, and just go for it and commit all the way and say, you know what, I'm going to do this no matter what. And if it fails, that's fine. I'm going to learn a lesson and I'm going to keep going anyway. And the same thing with my personal training business. When I went back to consulting after modeling, and I went back to my six-figure consulting job, I quit my job, and then I was able to build my personal training business, but only again through massive action. Everything good in my life, and my guess is everything good in your life, when you look back at the best things that happened, whether it was that relationship that you're in now, or that girl or boy that you married, that you took a chance on, or that job that you landed, or some big financial win or a promotion you got. My guess is that all those good things in your life, just like all the good things in my life, came from when you faced your fears, When you saw your fear, you faced it and you said, you know what? I'm just going to go all in and commit anyway. I'm going to do it anyway, despite my fears. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to move fast. I'm going to get that feedback loop. I'm going to find out what works, what doesn't, and I'm just going to go for it. That's the only way you're going to get to that success. That's the only way you're going to get on the other side of those fears, and you're going to make progress towards your dreams, whether that's losing 25 pounds, building the body of your dreams, getting six-pack abs, building muscle, toning up, whatever it is that your goal is, like whatever your dream is. Or even if you apply that to the business world, whatever you want to do with your career. When you look at these things and you have these fears that are holding you back, that make you feel stuck, and hell, maybe this is even a relationship thing for you. Maybe you're not in the right relationship, or maybe you want to be in a better relationship, or you're single and you know you need to get out there more. You need to face your fears, your biggest fears. You need to look them right in the eye, and you need to take a step forward and move forward anyway, despite your fears. And you need to do it with that massive action in mind, that I'm going to take some huge leap of faith. I'm just going to go for it, and I'm going to see what happens. And the best thing you can do then to really help supplement that is to hire an expert or work with somebody or a coach or something that can help give you the feedback that you won't be able to see yourself. Give you the feedback so you can make adjustments along the way. So when you commit fully to this, you can make sure that it's successful in the end. So your assignment today is to look at yourself, your life, what's going on with you right now, and think about a fear that you have. Think about something that you're hesitating about, that's holding you back, an area of your life that you want to improve that isn't getting any better. Maybe it's your body, maybe it's your finances, maybe it's your relationships. Now I want you to write down what that big obstacle or fear is, the thing that you're struggling with. And I want you to write down, what can you do today even to get started, to take some small action to just get the momentum going? And then what could you do to really, really break it open and take some massive action to maybe, hopefully, give it a shot and just go for it and commit all the way? And then even better, bonus, who can you hire or how can you get some type of feedback or positive coaching from a professional or an expert that can help you with it? That's it for today. I'm Jackson. I'll see you later.